James, it's good to be with you, brother.
Hi,
Yay.
Mark. Hello. Hi, hi.
Crossing is coming up.
It is indeed.
And I know. And I was thinking the other day, as I was looking at an article with two sides, arguing with each other vociferously, and each one being willing to die and kill the other. And this one says, I'm on this side and I'm on this side. And that's all you hear today.
Yep. Yeah.
And the sentence just occurred to me that there really aren't two sides, right? There's only one side, the side of love.
Mm.
And for me, it captured what we're doing in the crossing.
Mm.
So when I'm crossing to the other side, right? In the original great traditions of the ancient wise ones, they talk about the crossing and the different interior sciences where I cross from one side to the other.
Mm-hmm.
But when they talk about it, they often mean either crossing into a new vision of theology. Sometimes they mean crossing to a new ethnocentric vision. I'm crossing into this new ethnocentric nation. And what we're saying is something else. We're saying, there's only one side. It's the side of love. And that doesn't mean there's not distinctions. And that doesn't mean that there's easy moral equivalencies. And it doesn't mean there's not important things to say. Of course there are. It's a unique self symphony. There's unique instruments, but there's
Mm-hmm.
only one side. It's the
Mm-hmm.
side of love. And am I willing to cross over to the side of love? That's the cross.
So do you mean like whatever your political view is, if we take politics, it needs to be coming from the side of love?
That's beautifully said, right? Let me just repeat it again. Whatever your political view is, it needs to become from the side of love. That's exactly right, right? We make our political view our identity, and that becomes our identity to cover up the fact that we're not on the side of love.
Right.
So
So our
we
real identity as Homo Amor is the side of love, and the political
yes,
view comes second.
that's exactly right. That's so, isn't that beautiful? And it's so true. In other
Mm.
words, first we're Homo Amor together.
Right.
Then let's have a conversation about
Yeah.
about
Right. Right.
that it moves me to tears,
Yes.
right?
So in a way, first, really, where we are on the same page before we look
Right.
at the differences.
That's right. And the same page is the love story. We're in a love story together, and we're actors in a love story together.
Mm.
We're Homo Amor first.
Right. But I
Yeah.
think it's also important to point out that when we say love, but it's a certain kind of love in the sense of, as you said about ethnocentric, i.e., this love has to go beyond one's own tribe. That's the
No,
side of love.
yes, when we say, see, it's completely wonderful to love my family.
Mm,
It's egocentric love, right? I love my family, and egocentric in the best sense. My
mm,
family, my wife, my kids, my husband,
mm,
brothers and sisters, my dog, my cat, right? And I gotta love my family. That's beautiful. And
mm,
then I can love my nation. That's also beautiful. Ethnocentric love. Wow, I love my peeps, right? I love my tribe.
mm.
But if it stops there, then it's not really love. It's just a form of identity. And then I got to go to world centric, right? I love every human being on the planet.
Mm,
And then I got to go to like cosmocentric, right? I love all the animals. I love the planet.
mm,
I love nature. I
mm.
love the aliveness I love all of evolution.
Right. It's a sort of kind of saying that every sort of element of life, of the universe, deserves my love.
It's yes, 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 and yes, and a beautiful and every element of the universe, as you said, brother, deserves my love, and every element of the universe is my love.
Right.
It's what motivates, what animates the
Mm,
tree that right that kind of that sprouts and emerges from the ground, what motivates James and Mark talking, what motivates, the entire world of the biosphere, right? The Brazilian rainforest, right? What motivates all of it, right, is this force of Eros, in which separate parts are always desiring deeper contact. We want to come in deeper contact and greater wholeness. So let's say you and I have a conversation. So we might say to each other, was that a good conversation? What do we mean by that? So we don't mean, did we cover our ground? Although we need to like get through our list of to-dos. We mean like, were we inside of it? Did we come closer through it? Did something more emerge from it?
Right. Yeah.
That's Eros. And that Eros
Right.
animates all of reality.
So what you're saying is we don't have to create that love.
Right.
Well, it does. It's not that we don't have to do some work. I think we do, but the point is, it's already there.
We have to disclose it.
Yes.
We have to discover it.
Yeah.
But we don't make it up. It's not our contrivance that we made up.
Exactly.
It's right. It's right there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you know how we might say it. It's in that sense, love, really true Eros, true love. Love's not hard to find. It's impossible to avoid.
Yeah. 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 No, I get it. And can you think of any? Is there anything you could refer to in your life so people get a sort of concrete idea where you've had a struggle to get beyond your own egocentric or ethnocentric love, that it does go wider, bigger?
Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful question. I mean, I think whenever there's a conflict, so we're now in the midst of a raging set of conflicts in the world, in Ukraine and Russia, obviously, right? Obviously, in Israel and Gaza, and whatever one thinks about that conflict, you have to be able to see the faces on both sides. And if you can't see the faces on both sides, right, then you're lost. So, I mean, this is heartbreaking. I literally, and I've shared this with you before, every morning I look at a list of the people that were killed, and I see the boys in the Israeli army that were killed. Right. And then I look at another list that I get from another source where I see the Palestinians that were killed. Right. Now, whatever you think, whatever there's to say about that conflict, right, falls away if you only one list.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah.
That's it. Right.
Yeah. I'm just thinking what would be a good.
How is it in your life, brother? What does that mean, and what does that mean for you?
Do you know what? I'll take a really simple example, which I'm not sure one would fit into egocentric, ethnocentric so much, but just when I'm, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I don't know why, it's always in the middle of the night. All these pictures of the people come to me who I feel have in some way disappointed me in my life and have not been good to me. And you know what it's like. You can get really lost in that. And it's not fair. And you can, all the same thoughts that you've had. And every time I catch myself doing that, I always just keep saying, okay, you don't have to give up all your opinions, but how does this change if I'm coming from a place of love? If that's the sort of my starting point. And it always really shifts something. It always really shifts something. That's one example. And I think the other is I am easily the type who, the famous Hillary Clinton talking about Trump supporters, the bunch of deplorables. I can so easily fall into that.
Right.
Like these idiots. you know, but
Yeah.
they're just human beings finding their way and you know, following certain values that, so I think those are the sort of areas
Yeah.
that really I've been working on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, just to thank you. I mean, just to bring it together, it's the sentence that we said earlier.
Mm,
First Homo Amor together. And
mm,
from there, we're in the field of Eros, we're in the field of love. And one of the things we're going to talk about at the crossing, at all of the crossings, is this such important sense that you said a little earlier, is that love's not made up,
mm,
right? It's not a mere human sentiment that we made up,
mm,
that we're deep in the science of reality. Love is the heart of existence itself, which
mm,
is why when I fall in love, I feel at home in the world.
mm,
Because I am, because that's the nature of the world.
mm,
And so we're not talking about love as a kind of fantasy. We're talking about love which has to animate politics and economics
mm,
and business and
mm,
construction and in medicine and education and psychology. We're talking about love as the creative constructive force, right, that actually animates our lives in all of its dimensions. What does that new world look like?
mm,
And that's exciting. And for the people who think, well, that's unrealistic, or that's on these guys, James and Mark, that's a little unrealistic. Well, actually, that's not true. It's actually the most realistic because love is the nature of reality.
mm,
And all through history, the only thing that doesn't change is that everything changes.
mm,
Okay. So we're going to enter a new era now. There's no question about it. Just look around you. The old world is falling apart in so many ways before our eyes. A
mm,
new world is going to emerge from it. What is the nature of that new world going to be?
mm,
And the invitation of the crossing is to say, who am I for real? I'm Homo Amor. I'm love, and I'm going to uniquely participate
yeah,
in my own transformation, and then my transformation becomes the transformation of the whole thing.
yeah.
That's wildly exciting. That's the crossing.
Right. And our hope is that when people come out of the crossing and have
Yes,
undergone some kind of identity shift, coming out as Homo Amor, which is a bit different than Homo Sapiens or whatever they,
it is.
however they interpreted their own identity, that's going to influence every decision, every behavior, every relationship.
It all changes. It's the move from Homo sapien to Homo Amor is the change that changes everything.
Mm, okay.
Wow.
Well,
I
I
can't
think
wait.
that's a beautiful place to finish. The change that changes everything.
Yay. Yeah, I can't wait, brother. I'm
Me
excited.
too. Me too. No, I get a real buzz just
Yay.
just talking about it, just connecting with it.
Yeah, and connecting with you, my friend.
Yes.
Yay. Yay.
Great.
Ah.
Well, maybe we need a Homo Amor sign, like Spock or something or whatever.
It worked in the same. We Homo More sign. We got to work on that. I think we should
Yeah,
we
yeah.
should do a
Okay.
straw poll.
Yeah.
Homo More sign. Yay.